And now we've got a lot of cards. Well, not a lot of cards. We've talked about more cards before, but more cards have been added this week thanks to Galakrond's Awakening. And just like last week, we're going in class order. So we're starting in Hunter with Rotnest Drake, a 5-mana 6/5 rare Hunter dragon with a battle cry that reads, if you're holding a dragon, destroy a random enemy minion. So deadly shot attached to a good body.
Yeah.
The body
is everything.
It can help you get dragon synergy. This is already being put into Highlander decks, like as we speak. Like I haven't played that many games since yesterday, and I've already seen this against come out of my enemy's board in a Highlander deck. So this card's good. The second I saw it, I'm like, that's a good card.
Yeah.
Same. Like as soon as I saw it, I was like, this card looks busted. And then we got it and I played it and it was as good as I expected it to be. I've been playing a lot of this guy since he came out. It's just a really good card.
Yep. What's the downside here? Well, I'm not holding the dragon. Well, worst case scenario, cool. It's a 6/5 for 5. There are worse things to do with your mana. It's solid. And so I think we can mercifully just move on to Scale Lord, another dragon I'm actually pretty damn interested in. This is over in Paladin. It's a 5-mana 5/6 rare Paladin dragon with a battle cry that reads, give your Murlocs Divine Shield. Now, I'm not like ready to wave the flag of Dragon Murloc. Paladin is here. It's here to stay. It's an archetype that works right now. But damn it, this is a cool card. Again, like Rotnest Drake, 5 mana, you get a 6/5. This one you get a 5/6 for 5. So it's a solid body, and it doesn't have the if you're holding a dragon condition.
Right, it just does the thing.
Right, exactly. And I may be drinking a little Regis Kilbin Kool-Aid because I did watch him pilot a Highlander Paladin that was like front-loaded with Murlocs and like mid and back-loaded with dragons that ran this, and it looked super interesting. But I can't not be interested in this card, even though I don't think it's ushering in. I'm realistically optimistic about this kind of setting a new standard or bringing a new archetype into a standard viable territory. But damn it, I like this card a lot.
I think this card is really cool, but to me, and we have a question about it a little bit later, but Blizzard has already confirmed that dragons are coming to Battlegrounds at some point, right?
This cannot come in. I refuse. This is not allowed to come into Battlegrounds.
So that's what I was going to say is like, is Scale Lord, like the place where I can see dragons and Murlocs coming together is like Battlegrounds. So I'm sorry, Garrett.
No.
I'm sorry
no.
that I threw that out there, but
no, this better be like 7 stars, and it's like the only 7-star card, and you can't discover it with a triple. I mean,
like maybe it's the kind of thing that you put in wherever. Where's the Megasaur dude?
Megasaur is a 6-star.
Yeah, so just make it a 6.
No, the reason Murlocs are extremely powerful, and the thing that keeps them down is the difficulty in getting Divine Shield on them in Battlegrounds. If you put this in, I am terrified. I'm just straight up terrified. What do you think, Nick? You think we should just drop this in Battlegrounds and hope for the best?
I don't know. I do know that one of their hesitations they said when they were initially trying to bring dragons in is that most of them just don't really make sense in Battlegrounds because they do stuff like, destroy an enemy, minion or whatever, or they require you to hold a dragon in your hand. They decided early on that they didn't like the gameplay of that because it's not fun to have.
Right, but this doesn't have either of those things.
Yeah. No, that's what I'm saying. That's why I agree with you. It seems primed to go into Battlegrounds. I don't know if that's a good idea or not, but it seems like it could be in there.
Well, Hachikumo and
the Jinx.
Yep.
Yeah, usually the resident make me laugh with like vaguely sexual jokes in the chat room. Says, how about replacing Megasaur? And I think Hachikumo's totally onto something here. That actually would be interesting. Because then
it would get rid of like the problems, which is like everything poisonous in one card or everything Wind Fury in one card. Like if you take Megasaur out, then just giving them Divine Shield might be okay if you have to like try to find the Toxfin and then like poison your Murlocs one at a time, as opposed to just like bam my whole board because I found Megasaur. So I actually think this might be better overall.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, I like that idea of sorry, Gary. I like that idea of switching them. That seems like that would be probably overall a nerf, even though sometimes, Megasaur just gives you something you don't want and it feels like this would be better, but the ability to not give you poisonous and Divine Shield on everything, like this doesn't work with Bran. All of the like that seems like that would be a good change, I think.
Yeah. That actually makes a lot of sense. And now that makes so much sense. I'm like, yeah, that's what's going to happen now. Megasaur's leaving, Scale Lord's coming in, and probably some other dragons. Brightwing, maybe legendary. Get a legendary.
Maybe, I don't know. It's hard to think of all the ones that might come in. And again, like we do have an email about that a little bit later on, so we should probably save that. But.
Show's already going long. We make it bump. But.
Yeah, I guess that's true. That's true. But
we'll
yeah.
Yeah. Interesting stuff. I like Scale Lord even outside of Battlegrounds.
Even out of Battlegrounds, yeah.
Moving into Priest, Aeon Reavers. I'm going to choose to pronounce this. Actually, I have no idea how to pronounce it. It's a 6-mana 4/4 common Priest dragon with a battle cry that reads deal damage to a minion equal to its attack. If you weren't around for Light Bomb, this is Light Bomb effect, except Light Bomb was a Priest spell that did this to the entire enemy board. Was it the entire board? I think it might have been the entire board.
It was the entire board, yeah.
Yeah. Sorry. All. It doesn't matter, though, because this is targeted. A minion.
One minion,
of your choice.
Not everybody.
Deal its attack damage to it. So, yeah, I wasn't, and still am not, like, stoked on Dragon Priest post Descent of Dragons. I do think it's okay. Priest clearly has archetypes that are working for it and has already kind of had its moment in the spotlight with a Dragon Priest archetype that has been pretty strong in the past. I do think this is strong. Like this is targeted removal attached to a body that is traditionally pretty damn strong in Hearthstone. But I don't know if this is enough on its own to bring modern Dragon Priest into and make it a consistent ladder climber.
I think Dragon Priest might have to wait for rotation to get good.
That's a good point. Yeah.
I think so too. It's just not what Priest wants to do right now. And the one place where I saw like the one drop that they also gave us with Galakrond's Awakening wants you to play like combo Priest, but the Psychopomp combo Priest just seems so much better than the Dragon combo Priest.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, rotation is probably not as far away as it feels, or we may even think it is. Who knows? So, Rogue is up next with Waxmancy. I feel like there should be another A in there. I want to say Waxamancy, but it's just Waxmancy.
Yeah, I agree. It's definitely missing an A.
Why? A waxy man.
Waxymancy?
Waxymancy.
I'm okay with that too.
Somebody hire Nick to name cards.
Yeah.
2-mana common rogue spell that reads discover a battle cry minion, reduce its cost by 2. So it's primordial glyph E. But we need to remember that discover minion is no longer weighted towards class specific. So this is a very, very, very large pool of possibilities that you are discovering out of. Now it is still discover. It's not like it's just giving you a random card, but because of that, I'm not freaking out about Waxmancy.
Yeah, obviously, if you've played through the single player this week, then it is one of the things that you get, like one of the cards you get to use. And man, that's a big range. I don't think I used it once where I was like, yes, this is perfect.
Boy, the decks this week felt very fair. I was just like, I don't know about this.
Yeah.
But yeah, Nick, you want to, do you have any, you want to go to bat for Waxmancy?
No, I don't. But I think you're right that it's just a huge difference that they've taken away that bonus, because can you imagine if you could get flicks this easily? Like you totally run this to try to get 2, 3, and then you're shadow stepping them, and all of a sudden your opponent just has no deck because you've killed every single thing and all the copies they have.
I can imagine it, and I would have to imagine that this might be one of the reasons that Discover change was made.
Maybe.
Possibly. Who knows? But yeah. But hey, if you're just if you're one of those people that just really likes playing with cards in Rogue that you shouldn't have or can't put in your deck, then this definitely plays towards that theme. So let's move right into Warrior and talk about Risky Skipper, a 1-mana 1/3 rare warrior minion, and an asterisk, should be a pirate, known bug, confirmed by Celestalon. This should have been a pirate, will be a pirate in the near future. But again, a 1-mana 1/3 that reads, after you play a minion, deal 1 damage to all minions. This is a Warrior AF card, if I've ever seen one. Fantastic body attached to a 1-mana card. I didn't mean for that to come out the way it sounded.
I think maybe you did a little bit.
No, I didn't. I really didn't.
The risky skipper. I find that really hard to say. I don't know why. I think it's like the 2 SKs so close to each other. I just can't wrap my tongue around it. It's like a tongue twister.
Riskip. The Riskip. I'm a big Riskip fan.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this is, again, it's really good stats. It contests the early board if you just have to get it out of the gate. If you think you're up against, like, you go up against Hunter, you're like, I just got to deal with 1/1s like right out the gate. Just throw it down. Like, you can if you need to. But also, this just enables so much warrior synergy with a whirlwind effect.
Yeah, it's weird because the most obvious synergy is the Bomb Wrangler that also came with Galakrond's Awakening.
Yeah, you can get boombots off of it every time it takes damage.
But they also, just like you have Plague of whichever one it is, Wrath, I think. You have Acolyte, you have Eternium Rover, you have the card draw, the 2-mana card draw card, and there's just so many ways to use it. I've tried a ton and none of them have quite worked yet, but I really feel like I'm just missing something and that someone's going to crack it at some point and this card's going to see play.
I bet we'll probably see something in the next Masters Tour.
I mean, we saw Highlander Warriors already at this tour stop. This seems pretty, it seems like a no-brainer to at least mess around with this, and I bet it will find home, if nothing else, in a Highlander deck, as we've been joking.
Yeah, something leaning a little bit more towards like the Enragey kind of thing, and Hachikumo again is talking about how, like, comparing it to Pyromancer, and it basically is Pyromancer except for minions instead of for spells. So it's an interesting play style. I think there's something here for sure.
Yeah. Let's talk about Boom Pistol Bully. This is the first neutral we're going to talk about today. We have 2 of them to talk about. This one is not a legendary, but it kind of feels like it a little bit because it's a 5-mana 5/5 epic neutral minion with a battle cry that reads, enemy battle cry cards cost 5 more next turn. Now, if you were not around for the first ever edition of cards to Hearthstone we ever saw with the Naxxramas adventure, Lotheb was a card in there that made spells cost 5 on your enemy's next turn, and it was ubiquitous. It was in damn near every deck, like Azure Drake levels of play happening with Lotheb. I couldn't believe that Lotheb was not a card that came back in the Wild event that we saw at the end of 2019.
Yeah, that was at the very top of my list for cards I wanted to see come back from Wild, and which also makes me say, I basically want this for everything, like battle cries, poisonous, like death rattles, like just every kind of card that there is, even like tribes, murlocs and totems and just pirates and everything.
Just classes.
Enemy,
just classes. Shaman cards, you're gonna cost
why not
5 more for the rest of the game because that's how much
exactly
Blizzard wants to ruin Shaman right now.
But yeah, like I want these type of cards, like maybe not all at once, but I want these kind of things to be in the game where you can just, use them as tech cards and say your X cards cost 5 more every or next turn. Like, yeah, I'm down. More of this, please.
You can put 2 of these in your deck. By the way, we can only put 1 of Loatheb in our deck because Loatheb was legendary.
True,
Boom
yeah.
Pistol Bully is epic, so you could have 2 of these if you want. This is already in multiple Highlander decks. I ran into one of these against a Highlander Hunter this week. I mean, like, what are you hitting on that right now, right? Like, what are you losing to? What are you afraid of? Are you playing in Big and Druid? Cool. That has Injured Tolvir, Scale Rider, Big Ol' Whelp, Leroy, Emerald Explorer. Those are all things that you just made cost 5 more. Mech Paladin has things like Galvanizer, Gobble Glider, Explodinator. I think that's pretty much it for the most popular Mech Paladin lists out there. Highlander decks, just so much, but freaking Zephyrus, that's a big one that you could potentially trip up. However, Res Priest or Face Hunter, you're still kind of screwed. They're not really running that many battle cries.
Yeah. But I mean, well, I've had a lot of fun with Mech Pally, but yeah, like in Big and Druid can be a little bit frustrating sometimes. The same with Highlander decks too. And I mean, even like Alexstrasza, like just there's a lot of big things in Highlander decks with these battle cries. So yeah, I think we're gonna see some teching in of some Boom Pistol Bullies.
Yeah.
The last one is just all the Galakrond stuff. So Galakrond Rogue, Galakrond Warlock, Galakrond Warrior, some of them are spells, but all the Galakrond minions are hit by this. Galakrond itself is hit by this because it's not just Battlecry minions, it's any Battlecries.
Yeah, so, hero cards, like most hero cards, even go into wild. Do they have a Battlecry? It's impacted.
Yeah, it seems like a really good tech card. I'm not surprised. A lot of people were predicting this would see play, and it has, and it will continue.
The dogs agree.
Yep.
Finally, Sky General Crag. That doesn't feel piratey to me.
No, Captain Crag was better.
Yeah, but it's a 4-mana 2/3 legendary neutral minion with taunt and a battle cry that reads, if you've played a quest this game, played a quest, not if you control, played. So I think they're trying to make Jocelyn like this card more. Summon.
Yeah, I definitely do.
Summon a 4/2 parrot with Rush. The parrot, by the way, is Sharkbait, who you probably saw in this chapter of the adventure this week, which is a 4-mana 4/3 legendary beast with Rush, if you actually get it sent back to your hand and we're curious how much mana it actually cost. But, boy, they couldn't pick a direction on this card, could they?
Yeah, and I mean, I like it better because it's, if you've played a quest instead of if you control a quest, because then it's pretty much just always good unless your quest, if you're only playing side quests and it's stuck all the way in the bottom of your deck or something, but I feel like that's a whole lot different than controlling a quest and getting the Explorer and then not getting the card. And it's just a 2/3 later on in the game. Like I feel like is better. But that doesn't mean I like Sky General Krog. It's still not great.
I don't know. I think this guy's pretty good. We're already seeing him in Quest Druid, which is nice because Quest Druid couldn't really play the other Quest Synergy cards because you completed your quest so quickly. So there's a chance that they would miss and you wouldn't have the quest at the time you need them. But this kind of just fits in the any sort of mid-rangey type quest deck because you get to play it before or after you completed your quest. So you don't have to do that weird dance that you had to do with like the Quest and Explorer where you're like, well, now it's dead now that I've completed my quest.
Yes.
So I really like this guy. I've been playing, one of the things I've had the most fun with after this came out is those quest decks that have no intention of actually completing the quest. There's some of that in Rogue. There's some of that in Warlock. And you just play all the quest synergy cards, and your quest is just you're paying 1 and you're down a card at the start of the game so that you can get this advantage later. I don't know if it's actually the most competitive, but it's really fun.
That's a cool idea, if nothing else, because some of the quest-related cards are very, very powerful. So, I mean, like, I see what you're saying, but I don't know what I would want to take out of the quest druid, like that first few turns as you're ramping up and completing your quest really quickly. I mean, I guess like you can play it after, but I don't know. Is it good after? Like after, I just want to be playing all of my choose ones, right?
It's good enough is the question.
Okay.
game breaking. It's just kind of that thing to link you between those turns when you, because your first turns you're obviously behind. It's specifically in Quest Druid, and then you spend like a couple turns where you're playing the Oasis Surgers and stuff to just kind of keep up. And then you have those end turns where you're just like way ahead and you're closing out the game. And this is just one more tool in that keep up phase in the middle where you're kind of trying to catch up to the amount of tempo that you lost in those first few turns.
Mm.
That makes sense. I mean, druids, they tend to like removal because they're not the best at it.
That's true. That is true.
But yeah. Interesting. When I first saw this card, I was like, God, this is going in so many different directions. And I'm like, why is he a pirate? It doesn't feel piratey, but makes a lot of sense in Quest Druid. So, well, cool. Well, those are the cards for this week. Next week is the final chapter.
Mm-hmm.
We're going back to Galakrond because I accidentally flipped to the next page and saw that we're going to Galakrond. That's a big secret. But yeah, so we'll talk about next week's cards next week. I know they're all available, but we go week to week and figured it'd be a fun way to do it. So before we move into Battlegrounds, we have one more sponsor to thank today, and that is Harry's. And you can thank them because this morning my neck beard basically connected to my chest hair, and their wonderful razors kept that in check. Look at that. Oh yeah. Got a little
neck beard connected to my chest hair.
Yes.
Like, am I the only one that heard that in my head? I can't be the only one.
If you suffer from that, like I do, and maybe you don't suffer for it. Maybe that's your style. You do you. Me, doesn't really work. Clashes with the ridiculousness happening on top of my head. I don't need to make a statement on my neck. And Harry's helps me keep that in check. You should go check them out over at harrys.com/TAC. I mean, it's great. They just have really good prices for all of their shaving supplies. It's like, wouldn't it be awesome if there was like a 50% off sale happening every single time that you needed to go buy razors? That's basically what shaving with Harry's is like. They offer premium blade refills as low as $2 each. That is up to 55% off compared to the price of like a Gillette Fusion Pro Shield. It's crazy savings. You should go check them out. And they want to offer you even more savings. New customers get $5 off a Harry's trial set when you go to harrys.com/TAC. Again, big fan. I've talked about in the past. If you haven't heard, it converted me from electric razors. I was a little afraid at first because it had been a while. I'm like, ooh, I don't know. Straight razor. I don't know. There's a couple blades. I don't know if I'm going to get razor burn. Nope. Awesome smelling shave gel. Really smooth glide. Totally works for me. I bring it with me everywhere I go. I'm a big fan. So go check them out. Again, you can get a trial set for $5 off when you go to harrys.com/TAC. You're going to get a 5-blade razor, a weighted handle, foaming shave gel with aloe, and a travel cover. So you can join the millions of guys who are already saving money. Go to harrys.com/TAC to claim your offer now. So go check them out. And with that in mind, you should also check out Battlegrounds, which we're going to talk about right now.